Hello everyone. This video was requested by a viewer of mine, so I surrounded it around the weather. This time being snow. I do not recommend using this team at all. Snow kinda sucks compared to the other weather conditions, unless you're setting up an Aurora Veil, but that is a one-time thing where snow is only necessary to activate it. Also, shout out to Riley for giving me the frost loss in this video. Anyways, there are 2 wins and 2 losses. One of the wins I found absolutely amusing to me because my opponent was whining the entire time. Before you enjoy the rest of the video, I will not be posting a video for next week due to me having an AP exam, or AP level like exam. The topic I'm currently on is Genuine Hell, and I have plenty of algorithms to memorize. Or maybe I will have time in between gaps and stuff like that. Finally, I also have a Google form live, so you can send me your team ideas or concepts for a video, as in the description. Other than that, you know the drill. Get a snack, relax, and enjoy the video. Starting with our losses, of course.
up on that copium. Life's not fair. Start with that and go from there. You can't always win, but don't start inhaling too much of that copium. Politics, all just power hungry pricks. Hey, sure, choose a side, middle, left or right, but cool down on that copium. You played the game and lost. It is okay to fail sometimes. You're only human. Keep on trying. You can do it. Don't blame everything else. If you're losing, just have fun. Don't OD on copium. Copium. We all know the taste of copium. Let's take a little less. Maybe try to accept life without too much copium.
Stall. Oh boy, how I miss this strategy. I don't know what I'm supposed to do or even say again to this because I had no way of wall breaking anything, and Warrington does so completely nullifies the Titan, and this team is a perfect counter to mine. The team is very weak against Stall. It is certainly more on the offensive side, but this is more of a reason not to use team or snow. Moving on to my next loss against Riley, which is a much more entertaining match to even talk about. Throughout this entire match, I learned from my mistakes from previously fighting Riley. For example, the Earthquake prediction to Goldango, switching into Lander Asterion, then switching to Frostlass to Null Normalium Z from for it. Those are the mistakes I have done in the past, and my rating game was off the charts. Sadly, I could have knocked out for it if it didn't freeze. Freeze decreases special attack just like burn decreases physical attackers' output by half. They take after the Legends Arceus attributes. Still, that 10% Ice Punch might have sold me the game because having Goldango at its full potential is amazing. Sadly, instead of using a Z move Belly Drum with the Titan, I should have knocked it out with Earthquake instead, because I had Slush Rush up. Could have done the same thing with Lando instead of setting up spikes as well. And that was a mistake that actually sold me the game, because if I got rid of the neck trick, I had no worries because Overheat wouldn't be a dangerous move against me anymore. But yeah, as usual, Riley, you get showcased in every video because you somehow highlight the best of me and the worst of me every time. Anyways, moving on to the very quick wins. This player was using a very similar team to my Rain team in my last video, excluding the Goldango. However, I outplayed them several times. They couldn't get off the electric terrain, mostly because they didn't even switch into Tapu Koko. I knew they would try to Earthquake with Swampert, and they admitted they didn't read when they Earthquaked because it did nothing to me as I have Air Balloon. Similarly to how I did the same thing to Riley's own Goldango. I don't have a lot to say about this match because I knocked out Pelipper and had to win from there. Moving on to my favorite match ever. I played this player in a really funny way and got extremely lucky, which made this counter even funnier because this kid got really salty and started BMing. BMing is the act where competitive players show horrible manners in a match. For example, in VGC, let's say, if you likely have the win and your opponent's on their last Pokemon and you double protect knowing you can knock out that Pokemon, that is BMing because you are stalling a win. In this clip, this player is crying to me because I got lucky. In other words, they're in need of big amounts of copium. This all started when I Destiny bonded with Frostlass. I didn't need Snow at that time, and Houndoom was a threat to all my team members, Goldango's and Titan specifically, so I had to go. I used Destiny Bond because I am faster, knocking it out. Then they said that was cheap. What I had to do was a threat assessment, which I did, and got rid of their strongest Pokemon against me. Sacrificing Frostlass was to save my other Pokemon, which is the smartest thing I could have done. The one regret I have is not killing Goodra before I used Belly Drum, because it got knocked out from Flamethrower. I would have loved to Slush Rush sweep, but sadly, no, I can't have anything nice. Later in the game was Glowking versus Meganium, and I crit Meganium with a Sludge Bomb, and that was funny because he was +2 in special defense. Didn't complain that I got a crit on top of that. It's a quad weakness. I was gonna kill it no matter what. The Metagross switched in after. I read him using Shift Gear because that move was used against me before. I still won that previous time. But thank you for the Thunder Wave, because what happened next was absolutely funny. Not only I rendered them parried once, but twice, with Goldango, allowing me to set up. You also forgot to read that I had Air Balloon, and I Shadow Balled with the Goldango to kill Metagross, sending it to the Shadow Realm. At this point in the match, I am rent-free in this kid's head. After knocking it out, they kept complaining instead of forfeiting because what the hell are they gonna do with the defensive Toxapex set? They kept whining, saying I had such a cheap win because I got a para, then a crit, and then another para, which is back to back at a 0.26% chance. I guess that really was my day. Then they BM'd by stalling using Baneful Bunker and saying what else am I supposed to do? And they were fighting a +2 Goldango that 2-hit KOs. You forfeit. That's what you do. I hope you enjoyed this video. And to the guy that asked me about the Frostlass team, steal it if you want, here it is, but it's actual buns. Again, Snow isn't really that good, and I'd rather use Sun more than anything. Offensive sets is something I prefer, or are something I prefer over Balance and thankfully Stall. I can never willingly use Stall unless it's to troll or make a video surrounding it. I hate long games, and I'd rather not play an hour-long game. Yeah, but I hope you enjoyed this showcase. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.